has this special property where it's 2/3 of the distance from each vertex to the midpoint of the opposite side. So if we look at median GC, part of the median that goes from the midpoint G to the centroid N, that's 1/3 of the length of the median. And then this segment that goes from our centroid N to the vertex C, that's 2/3 of the length of the median. Same thing with median AH. The part of the median that goes from vertex A to centroid N, that's 2/3 of the length of the median. And then the part that goes from the centroid to the midpoint, from the centroid N to the midpoint H, that's 1/3 of the length of the median. And then this is the 2/3 part for that median, and this is the 1/3 part for that median. So the centroid is going to divide those medians in a 2-to-1 ratio. So it's dividing them proportionally. This is 1/3 of the length of the median, this is 2/3 of the length of the median. So let's say we knew the whole entire length of the median. Maybe we said the whole median was 30 units long. Well, I am essentially dividing that whole median into thirds. So I'm going to divide it by 3. So from the midpoint to the centroid, that's 1/3, so that would be 10. And then from the centroid to the vertex, that's 2/3, so each of those thirds is 10. So from the centroid to the vertex, that would be 20. So this would be my 1/3 part, this would be my 2/3 part. Well, what if I gave you the length of the segment from the centroid to the midpoint? What if I gave you this part? That's my 1/3 part. So those would both be 8, which would make the length of the segment from the vertex to the centroid, that would be 16. And then the whole median would be 8 times 3, which is 24. Or another scenario would be, what if I gave you that from the vertex to the centroid? What if that was maybe something like 12? Well, that's my 2/3 part. So each of the thirds would be 6. So I'm going to divide it by 2. 12 divided by 2. Each of those pieces would be 6, which would then make the distance from the centroid to the midpoint 6. And so then the whole thing would be 18. So let's go put this into action. So I know the length of AH, that whole entire median, is 18. So AN right here, that's my 2/3 part. NH is my 1/3 part. So 1/3 of 18 is 6. So from N to H is 6. And then from A to N, that's the 2/3 part. So that's going to be 2 times 6, which is 12. So AN is 12. Okay, then from B to N, that's 10. And that's from the vertex to the centroid, that's the 2/3 part. So I want to figure out the 1/3 part. So if the 2/3 part is 10, I'm just going to have to divide it by 2 to get the 1/3 part. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. And then I want that whole length of the median from J to B. So I'm going to add those two pieces together. So the length of J to B is 15.